Welcome to the Talon's Junction reverse tutorial for Wipeout HD Fury. Talon's Junction was obviously a track designed with the forward circuit in mind. The reverse variant is incredibly tricky due to the approaches to some of the corners. You'll need to know this track inside out before you can get a decent time on it, as there are a number of corners with blind approaches. So let's start off by having a look at the track on Venom class. And now let's go through the whole track step by step. On the reverse variant, you need to navigate the technical part of the circuit first, and it starts off with this long right-hander. Make your way over to the left-hand side of the track as quickly as you can. This will give you the best possible approach to this corner. Just before you reach the tunnel entrance, turn hard to the right and slam on the right air brake. Even with such aggressive turning though, you're still going to drift over to the left-hand side, so you'll need to right side shift halfway through the corner. Emerge on the left-hand side to hit a speed pad. Up ahead is a very sharp left hairpin. On the forward circuit, this corner was a lot more forgiving as it had a much easier approach. On the reverse variant though, you're not going to be so lucky. Unless you're piloting a very high handling craft, it's almost impossible to take this corner at full speed without letting up on the throttle. To begin with though, you need to make sure you're as far over to the right-hand side as you can possibly get. Right before you reach the tunnel exit, turn hard to the left and slam on the left air brake. Keep it held down all the way through the corner. Again, as with any hairpin, timing is absolutely crucial. You don't want to slam into the apex. Once you clear the apex, you'll find that your craft is sliding very quickly over to the right-hand side. You'll need to left side shift initially, but you may find that even this won't be enough. You'll almost certainly need to lift off the thrust briefly as well. The track curls round to the right immediately afterwards, so be ready with the right air brake to pull your craft back in line. Following the left-hander ahead is a quick right-left-right chicane. In a way, this corner series can be taken in the same way that the hairpin was. You'll need to apply the left air brake fairly sharply to drift the craft through this corner here, but you'll need to be ready with the right air brake to pull it back in line for the chicane. Stay close to the centre of the track, and then just before you exit the tunnel, hit the left air brake to drift the craft through. On exit, tap the right air brake to bring the craft in line with the centre of the chicane. This sharp left-hander you see ahead of you is fairly standard stuff. It's banked over to the left, so you won't need to turn as sharply, but just tap the left air brake as you go through. On exit to that corner, the track dips ahead before taking you onto the maglock loop. If you have a turbo and use it just as you approach the dip, you'll gain enough height to barrel roll as you go through the loop. Bear in mind that the loop itself is a very shallow right-left-right chicane. The best thing to do is to initially line yourself up with the centre of the track and then just allow your craft to keep going in a straight line. You may clip the left wall as you go through, but it shouldn't be anything too drastic. Let's return briefly to the dip before the maglock loop. On exit to the previous corner there are two speed pads, one on the left hand side and one on the right. If you take the corner as far over to the right as you can and then hit the right speed pad while pulling the nose up, it's possible to gain enough height to barrel roll as you go over the dip. It is incredibly difficult to do though. There's also another trick you can perform at the bottom of the loop if you have a turbo. At the bottom there are two sets of double speed pads on each side of the track. If you line yourself up with one of these speed pads, hit your turbo and pull the nose up as high as it will go, you will gain enough height off of the track to barrel roll. Again though, as with previously, it's very hit and miss as to whether it will actually work, but it is worth a try. Just remember that if you do try it, you need to keep control of the craft while it's in the air. It's very easy to drift over to the left or right and straight into the wall. If you don't have a turbo, then there are a number of speed pads you can hit down this straight to keep yourself at maximum speed. Start off by hitting the double speed pad on the left hand side, then drift into the centre to hit one more, and then finally over to the right. Despite how shallow this last corner series might appear, it's actually a lot trickier than it looks. Once you hit the last speed pad on the straight, hit the left air brake to pull your craft into the first corner. Try to stay as close to the centre of the track as you can. You'll need to be ready for the second left-hander as it appears out of nowhere. If you've managed to stay to the centre of the track, as you approach it, hit the left air brake hard and then be ready to left side shift to stop your craft drifting into the wall. As you exit, you'll see the final left-hander ahead of you, which is very shallow. Aim the craft over to the apex. With your craft pointing to the apex of the final corner, hit the speed pad ahead of you and then be ready to give a final tap to the left air brake as the track suddenly dips out from beneath you. And now let's see the whole lap done at full Phantom class speed. Thanks very much for watching and good luck with the game.